We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode on Sunday on the NSRA broadcasting channel. Tonight, we are with the NSRA Sunday Select Series. We're going to jump right into the grid here. We're running a little bit late. I do apologize, but we had some things to figure out tonight. So let's get on to the grid here. Got our leaders starting off here. Dean Wilkinson, followed by Hunter Reynolds in P2. P3, we got Paul Servant and Anthony English. We got Sean Stevens and Tom Dixon following up on the third row. Fourth row, we got Dana Osborne and Les Levy, both playoff drivers. Jimmy Reynolds, Dusty Burkhart following up on whatever row that is. David Overstreet, David Kilday in 11th and 12th. Russ Hancock and Larry Milk Doug Dickerson coming in 13th and 14th tonight. Bubba Winningham and Rick Cybrands in 15th and 16th. Mark Mann in number 17th. Brian Kaufman running in 18th here, starting off the grid. Lynn McNeese, Andrew Schroeder in 19th and 20th. And following up on the 21st spot in the back-to-back, we got Douglas Johnson. Tonight, you can tell voices are a little bit different tonight. We got myself and myself tonight. Guy is not going to be here tonight covering for him. We're going to get this party started off well tonight. Hope y'all are having a great evening tonight. It should be pretty interesting. Get this volume turned up here so y'all can hear. And let's see how tonight goes. So tonight we've got, let's take a look at some information here real quick. So we got Anthony English tonight is the only driver that is actually locked into the playoffs. This is the second race of the second round, I believe, if I'm not. It's first round of 12. First round of 12, okay. Let's see here. Pace car's off the track here. We got Dean Wilkinson coming to the line. In the Geico restart zone, and we are away. Here we go. Now, as every race with the NSRA, we do have 80 laps tonight. 2 fast repairs. Looks like we got some tight racing up front already. Got the number 3 car pushing Paul Servant pushing Dean Wilkinson up front here. Looks like the back of the pack's kind of spreading out a little bit. Probably not a bad idea. 80 laps at Talladega is a long ways to go. And Dean Wilkinson coming away with the first lap led tonight. That's an extra bonus point. Good to have in the playoffs. Every point does matter in the SCSRA, especially on Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Wednesdays nights. Man, all of those bonus points matter. So these guys are going to be fighting a lot tonight. Everyone keeping it relatively clean. We're going 3 wide, 2 laps in. So they are not wasting any time at all. Still racing 3 wide up here up front, and I do appreciate y'all's patience. We're going to be running through some technical challenges. Not technical challenges, but this will be my first broadcast tonight by myself. Guys hanging out in text chat and voice chat. I can kind of hear them sometimes. Let me see here. We are learning today, that's for sure. Man, that back-to-back, they were kind of bobbling around back there mid-pack. Third line's still working. We got the map up there in the top right-hand corner for you guys as well. But everyone's, however aggressive they're being, they're clean about it. So that's all that matters. So as long as they keep that going. Got some hard racing going on back here. Let's take a look around the field here. Oh, there we go. First one off the wreck, or off the try over here. Looks like we're staying green. And that's going to be Dean Wilkinson getting that meatball flag here on on lap number 4. So, well, oh man, we'll see what happens. They do have 2 of them, so he's going to head back to the pits, get that fixed up. We'll have to take a look at that next time. If we have some time here, we'll have to go back and take a look and see what happened there. Looks like they were just pushing kind of strong there towards the front. You know, we're in the playoffs, so I do expect to see some aggression. However, that is really unfortunate for up front there. Let's go on board with one of these drivers in that mid-pack, see what they're doing up there. See what it looks like from Sean Stevens' point of view. You can see just kind of taking it easy. Not really full throttle. Actually, it doesn't sound like he's ever full throttle. They're just kind of hanging out. Sports Crazy Boy 1981. Let's go Rangers in the YouTube chat. All right. We talking about baseball? Or is there someone on Rangers in the race? Oh, the NHL. We have a wreck back here in the middle of the field. Looks like we got a couple more meatball flags. David Overstreet, Douglas Johnson, Les Levy, Brian Kaufman. Let's go take a look and see what happened here. Let's go to Les Levy. Oh, I'm hearing that Kaufman went for a ride here, so let's take a look. Let's see, we're on board with, oh, there it was, just made contact right behind him. And he starts a flipping, oh my gosh, backwards up into the, oh. Oh, we got someone on their lid too. Oh my Lord. All right, let's go back and let's go in the chase cam here and see how this all developed here. Bar chase. I heard it happen in the background there. He's in the middle line here. Looks like he just came up. The 62 came down a little bit at the same time. Just made contact right there. And you can see there, not a very pretty time. So we got, let's see here. Dean Wilkinson already has used his fast repair. Lynn McNeese, Les Levy, David Overstreet, Brian Kaufman, and Douglas Johnson all have meatball flags for this race. Now, again, these guys all do have a second meatball, or two fast repairs. So using one early in the race, not the worst thing. We have called it before. we have called it before where there was someone that used a fast repair early in the race and ended up coming back and winning the race. So it's not unheard of. It's not unseen for this to happen. We'll see what happens for the rest of the race. On that note, while we're waiting here, I'm going to go ahead and run over to one of our commercials. We will be right back. We're back here, guys. Do appreciate it. Everyone's back down on pit road for the first pit stops of tonight. Now remember, these guys are running a lighter fuel load as well, so you'll see lots of caution. Every time they go under caution, they're always going to come down and get fuel. I believe they run 50% fuel, so the cars are significantly lighter too as well. That does take account. The Xfinity cars, like they're racing tonight, are kind of a little finicky when it comes to pushing the cars around. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the race. Again, we had 5 people use their fast repairs. Actually, it only looks like Les, Lynn, and Dean Wilkinson actually took a fast repair. David Overstreet, Brian Coffin, and Douglas Johnson still have not cleared them yet. So it looks like they're trying to get the repairs done and save those fast repairs for later in the race. Now, Johnson and Coffins and David Overstreet's all just cleared now, which means that they may have not had a whole lot of damage. We'll take a look at their cars and see if they got all the repairs done. I can't imagine they did, but we'll take a look at them. They may have had to tow as well. Let's see. Yeah, he's on pit road now. So, yeah, it's possible that he had to tow as well. Unfortunately, I just don't see that. All right. So how are the Rangers doing? Because, you know, the Stars just beat the Avs 4-2. I'm stoked about that because my Kings lost. So I'm going to go with the Stars. I live in Texas. Might as well, right? Cheeseburger in the chat. Michael Lawrence. I'd love to join next season after the race. Send me their info. And I'm leaving the other league. I've been tired of being a doormat. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I will, I'll get you their information after the race. Message me on Discord. I'll forget about it. If you see Tony Starch here in the booth, it's a different voice. I know he's also not responding to my face. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm okay with it. All right, Guy Haft in the booth. Let's bring Guy in here. See how he's doing tonight.
Man, we're good. We are good. Watching and listening to you're doing a fine job up here. The so far interesting race, man. You saw a little bit of door banging back there with old Bubba earlier in the race. Remember, he was so close last week. Thought he was going to be on a big run, and then just got wrecked out in the last couple laps. But so far, these guys not timid here at Talladega, throwing it 3 wide. So it's been a fun little race so far. Already 9 laps in.
Well, luckily, being Talladega, the track is so wide open that, or it's so wide as it is, 3 wide's not as bad to do than it is Daytona, where it's a little bit narrower. So you can run 3 wide the whole day.
And let's go back to full screen as we are under green flag conditions. Hunter Reynolds going to be that first car on the outside, getting pushed by Mr. Sean Stevens on the bottom row. You've got Anthony English. Remember, he is locked for next week. He's out here just turning and burning, trying to get a little padding in his points with Paul Servant doing the pushing. I'm telling you, I think if I want somebody pushing behind me, I want that 3 car. We saw him do a really good job last week.
A lot of these guys are really, really good drivers. This is probably one of the better super speedway leagues that I've watched. Besides the NSRA, we're not a super speedways league though, but we had some really good racing Tuesday and Wednesday night. You should go check it out.
And get us back here to a live view there, Hartney. We're watching this replay.
Oh yeah, look at that.
In a slow-mo too. Look at that pace car doing a fantastic job.
What is
These
happening?
guys back underway. Hit the right arrow and get it back.
I apologize, guys. Oh, perfect timing.
And
Look at that.
Servant and Reynolds gonna make contact round and round, and just
Lord.
like that, another big one. Well, you know where it happened, and we're going back to replay anyway. There's gonna be Reynolds and Servant.
Oh man. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm new to this. Criticize me later, all right?
Well, you want to know the bad news? Bubba, Doug Johnson, Hunter Reynolds all just got a meatball flag.
Yep. All
right there.
let's go.
You'll see Servant and Reynolds. I said I'd want that 3 behind me, and it looks like they're both. Well, going to do a little breathing exercise here. Is the 3 going to come up? Is Reynolds coming down, trying to take the air away, and they make contact, and round and round they go, and chaos behind them. Looks like Bubba not in a good way, as he's already, I believe, nope, he's going to use probably his first fast repair here.
I would imagine so. We got Hunter Reynolds and Bubba Winningham both got meatballs in this last one. On
now,
that note,
Doug Johnson will use them. He will be out.
Yeah. Let's see what they do. On that note, guys, we're going to run to commercial. We will be right back.
Yep.
All right, guys. Back here with Guy in the booth as well. We're going to be going green this next time by. Anthony English is going to be taking the first spot. Actually, he's not going to be, but Bubba Winningham looks like he's fallen back here. He may have gotten the EOL for causing that wreck, but we will we'll see him back up the front. He's usually a front runner up here. So Adam Kilday and Anthony English here up on the front row today. Number 85 in the 44 car. Let's hope we can go more than a lap. If not, I'll be here till midnight with y'all. Guy might go to sleep, but I will be here all night.
Well, it was definitely a long day at the ballpark today. But pace car going away. Ooh, Riley Gomes in the chat.
Oh, Riley, thanks for coming by. Pace car's off here. We'll be hitting that Geico restart zone here in just a moment. We'll be hammered down. Lap 16 of 80, ladies and gentlemen. We are less than a quarter of the way through the race. And here we go. We are green.
You can see a drag race by these leaders. Nobody really getting a good jump, kind of taking off simultaneously. You've got the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds and the 27 of Sean Stevens. They're going to be responsible for being the pushers. Mr. Dixon, Mr. Schroeder, they're going to be riding in row 3. We'll see how long they stay there. Does one jump up and try to create that third line, though famously shown at Talladega?
That third car is so important in these cars. What's really crazy is these cars are super fragile and they break super easy. But that third car is so dependent on getting that run off these corners. As you can see, that outside line here is starting to gain a little momentum, but through the trial, that inside line gathers it up a little bit. It's going to be a drag race here to the line. Anthony English is going to take that lap lead here. He's been up front pretty much the entire race here. We got a third lane forming here about mid-pack. Now, it is possible in these cars, but 2 cars is not going to be able to do it. So they're going to need to get some more help up there. Well, let's see what they do. They need to get together at least. You got somebody dropping off towards the inside here.
There goes the 69, dropping all the way to the back.
17 laps into the race. You still got 63 laps to go in this race. So you've got a lot of time to just kind of hang out. And that's probably what he's going to be doing. Getting a little aggressive here up front, but that's where the racing's fun. Oh, we got it. Oh, they're bumping, spinning into the wall.
I was just commenting on the 411. Is Schroeder trying to come up the 411? Look at this guy.
Oh,
still
man.
Straight. Man, I'll tell you what, when you go back and watch this replay, you got to ride with Tom Dixon in the 411. It happened all around him. An incredible job keeping this thing safe. I mean, as safe as he could. He got bumped a couple times up and around. I was just about to comment on his flow-grown car here because he's got that Florida outline on his car, the same that I run in my Chevy. And I was like, oh, we got another Florida guy here. And then chaos.
Oh, man. Let's go back and look at that one more time here. A little bit farther back. Got the 411 on the inside here. You got the 01 just came down and barely touched his bumper. Doing everything he can to keep it straight.
Rock.
Oh! He's
Look at
dancing.
the net code between him and Schroeder.
Oh, my Lord. Keeps it straight. Goes through the grass. What a save. What a save.
Oh, and it looks like Cybrands, he may have, or Cbrands may have actually gotten a black flag there. I'm sure that, and it was already cleared. I'm guessing that was wrecking through the pits.
Let's see what
happened.
happened here.
And Mr. David Overstreet got himself a meatball. But Cbrands definitely gets wrecked in the pit road.
Oh, he sees it in front of him. I don't think he didn't wreck through pit road. He just took the best escape route he could find. And not a bad choice, if you ask me.
Not a bad choice as he comes back out on the track.
All right, so we got David Overstreet. Got another meatball flag. He did use a fast repair earlier in the day, so let's see if he takes his second one. I don't think he's really going to have a choice if he wants to stay in this. You got the entire field coming down pit road again. Like I said, as often as they're going to have a caution, they will be on pit road. Looks like David Overstreet did take his fast repair, so that's 2 of 2 used tonight. and we're a quarter of the way through the race. So he's got to be super careful. And last time we said that,
the 99 won it.
Yeah, the 99 won it, and he used both of them less than a quarter of a race the race through. So we'll keep an eye on him and see how he does. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him towards the back of the field and just hang out for the rest of the race, or for a majority of it anyways. There's no point in now trying to you've got to just hang out. You've got to just make it to the end. You can't win if you don't make it to the end.
Well, and it looks like Andrew Schroeder also had to use his second fast repair.
Yeah, he
The
did.
good news is those two drivers not playoff drivers. So they're not facing an elimination race tonight. But the guys who are, you've got Jimmy Reynolds has both of his, Anthony English has his, Servant has used one, Hunter Reynolds has used one, Kilday has both, Bubba used one, Dusty Burkhart hasn't used any, Len McNeese had to use one, and Mark Mann, and that is your top 10. Tom Dixon, well, he didn't use one after getting ping-ponged all around the track. He's currently sitting 13th, though, as he went in for some quick repairs.
Let's check in with our fellow chatters. We got Michael Lawrence, Riley Gomes. Who else is up there? I haven't gotten a report on the Rangers game. Kind of upset, but you know,
well,
whatever.
the Rangers already clinched. They are now going to go battle the East and try to fight their way to a Stanley Cup. But it's the Rangers. They're cursed.
I feel like a lot of New York teams are now. Riley Gomes, what are you talking about, Cheese? You didn't like getting wrecked for 20th all day today? From Cheese, I got wrecked from top 10, 15 laps in and had to tow. Then cautions didn't come out, even though 5+ cars slow up because someone is backwards up against the wall. Overall, got screwed. Welcome to Speedway Racing. Just overall not consistent and guys racing like idiots week in and week out. Man, Cheese, are you guys in the playoffs? Because it seems to be pretty consistent across the board that this season, the playoffs have gotten kind of sketchy with everybody.
Oh, they're hot. They are hot.
I know in the ASR series on Monday nights, which I will now be race controlling for the rest of the season because there has been a lot of stuff going on here.
Man, I'll tell you what, Monday night, tune in as it's going to be another elimination race. So, you know, we kind of had the week of playoffs starting, and we did the bid reveal. SCSRA kicked off, ASR kicked off, and then finally NSRA finally caught up and they kicked off. Well, now we're in the elimination season as SCSRA kicked things off. Then it moved to NSRA, and then ASR will complete it.
Yeah. Riley, what we got here, the playoffs for these boys, yes, this is their second race of the round of 12. So this is an elimination race for them. Guy said it earlier. I can't remember who it was. There's only one person locked in, obviously, to the round of 8. Our leader, Anthony English, is locked in. So everyone else is fighting for that last spot, and a lot of those guys are in the top 10 right now. We got a couple in the back of the pack, but a couple of those guys in the playoffs as well. We have 3 people that have all used their second fast repair so far. Lynn McNeese. No, Andrew Schroeder, I'm sorry. David Overstreet and Brian Kaufman. Now, of those 3 guys, none of them are in the playoffs. So they'll be all right. We got the pace car pulling off here. Gonna be going green on lap 21 of 80. We got 59 laps to go. Pace car's off. Coming up to the Geico restart zone.
Well, the 44 going to get a good jump here, and he's going to bring the 3 of Servant with him.
And we are rolling into turn 1. You're going to see him kind of fall back in line here, a couple of them. That bottom line is a real long one. A lot of people took fuel on the second lap of the pace or the yellow flag while pacing. So there's that bottom line was a long line. We see kind of a gap form in there now, about 10 cars back. Guys are pushing pretty hard up here up front.
The 26 and the 27, they're trying to link up with the 3 of Servant. Now Bubba coming up in that 66. He said, well, you know, I'm good. I still got that fast repair. Let's come up and play. And here comes Bubba. Gets a huge run on that outside.
Of the guys in the top 10, about half of them have not used a single fast repair yet. So they're in a good place to be able to push as hard as they want. You got 2 chances here. So see, we're going to look for some good racing up here up front.
Well, this is Talladega, so we've seen a couple wrecks already early, and we know it is far from over as the wrecking is going to continue. And who knows, we may actually get one here at the end. Last week, these guys were able to finish under green and not bring it to green-white checkered, so.
You got the 26 and 27 up there pushing pretty good. They're pretty, the top line is really well formed, those top 3 cars there. As I say that, the third car falls back a little bit. But getting that third car, again, like I said earlier, is super important to get him as close as you can. Some real hard pushing there on the bottom line behind Paul Servant here. Oop, 44 comes up just a little bit, barely misses touching doors here with the number 27. Ooh, and they're getting real aggressive on that push in there. We got the number 25. Sorry, 85. Adam Kilday there on the bottom line, getting real close to that bumper of number 44, but that's exactly where he needs to be to get that bottom line to have any kind of run down there. You see the 44 of Anthony English pushing the leader real bad, real hard here for Paul Servant to get that next lap led here. And let's hope that's how the race ends, is a race like that. That would be awesome. Everyone kind of just chilling out. We still got, you know, again, 65 laps to go. So
English and Servant, they are not teammates. So, but willing to work together here. I don't believe the 26 and 27, they are also not teammates, so. Wow, look at Bubba push the 26. He's trying to get Hunter Reynolds right back up tight into the bumper of the 27 of Sean Stevens. You can see the 66 giving him a much needed nudge. And now the 26 going to be able to get the 27 out in front of Servant and clear. 27's coming down. And that all started with the incredible push from Bubba Winningham in that 66.
Like I said, we'll see him again. Didn't take him long to get back up to the front of the pack after he got that EOL. 2 cautions ago, but you see him pushing the Reynolds on that number 26 car as hard as he can. Hopefully, Hunter Reynolds stays with Sean Stevens and just stays up there on that top line, or waits till he comes down to clear him as well. But we have a Reynolds right behind him as well. So hopefully those 3 up in the top line stay together there, or both the Reynolds get together. We've seen some great racing there from Jimmy and Hunter this season in the couple of races that we've broadcast for him. So hopefully we can get them all up there. I know that we were trying to get Jimmy into the locked in the playoffs as well. So gonna be close. Gonna be a good one. We see the, was that the 45 on the top line there?
Yeah, the 46.
46. That's
behind the 84 of Len McNeese.
Keeps on peeking out to that third line to see if anybody's has any interest in running that top line.
No, it looks like the 66 is going to bail on Reynolds. I wonder if he's overheating.
He was glued to that bumper for a long time, so it's possible that those gauges were blinking at him and it was time for him to bail. Oh, you got number 3 hopping up to the top line with the Reynolds boys right behind him. Oh, come back. Oh my Lord, that was close. Going down on that apron and coming back up, as long as that person gives you room, you're good. But man, if they don't, you are in for a whirlwind.
Well, Servant is going to drop his way back down to the lead, get in front of Mr. Sean Stevens. We got a lot of changing going on here between bottom to high line. Playing musical leader. It's almost, racing is almost, there was 10 laps to go, and well, these guys still have 54 laps remaining in the night. And laying it all out there. Remember, the most laps led, that's going to bring some extra points, and those points could be the difference between making the round of 8 or elimination.
Paul Servant currently hop back up to the top line here, going for to lead another lap here. That will be 5 for him. He's only 2 off from the most laps led at this point. And I think that's what he's trying to do is, as Guy said, try to get those extra playoff bonus points.
Yeah, Anthony English and Hunter Reynolds right now, they're up there for the laps led, and Servant trying to catch him. You know, interesting, you go over to NSRA on Wednesday nights, and I swear, there are brothers everywhere. Not too many father-son duos. Well, you come over here on Sunday nights, and we have one of those in the Reynolds.
Like Paul Servant tried to jump back down in line here. Those top 2 guys, without anybody on that third line or that third car, they're surprisingly making it work. They're not gaining ground, but they sure aren't losing ground.
They're awaiting the 3 right now. Oh, and the 3 going to dive to the bottom.
And Hunter Reynolds did get that lap led there, so he is now officially going to have led the most laps at 8. But Sean Stevens in the number 27 on that bottom line's got a great push from the number 44, Anthony English. Hopefully he can get him up there. He's only led 1 at this point, so there's plenty of laps left to go in this race. Got a good side draft going on there from the Reynolds boys. Pulling them back just a tad bit here on that inside line. It's going to get a great run off of turn number 4 here. Ooh, and Hunter jumps down into that bottom line here. Gets that lap led. That leaves Jimmy Reynolds up on the high line here. But that leaves teammates in control of the bottom and top line. That's kind of where you want to be. As long as you can get back up to that front row and run side by side with them and make sure no one else will be able to get in front of you. So let's see what these guys do here. You got the number 27 pushing number 26 pretty hard here. Sean Stevens. We saw them working well earlier today, or working well a couple laps ago. So they should be able to keep that up.
Remember, 46 of Overstreet, he is also not on the lead lap. He is a lap down, so a caution would get him back. But interesting move watching Overstreet be a pusher up here right now and risk losing that lucky dog. But for the playoff drivers, I think you got to risk it. You now have Jimmy Reynolds falling all the way to the back. And remember, with fuel, it's only 50%. So about every 20 miles or so, these guys are going to have to bring it down pit road. And right now, it looks like they're starting to get single file. Maybe trying to save a little bit.
Jimmy fell back all the way back down to 15th place now. So he's pretty far back there. Took a big jump down. He's on the inside line now. Looks like, as Guy said, that we're probably getting ready for pit stops here. But interesting that he had to go that far back. No one wanted to anywhere close to letting him in. Hunter now with 11 laps led. He's got a 3-point jump on everybody else. So as long as he keeps that up, he's going to be in a good contention for those extra bonus points here going into the playoffs or going into the sim elimination round. And while we're riding around here, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We got Cheese, Riley, a couple of the guys up there in the chat. We do appreciate y'all jumping by. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all the fun things. Make sure you check out our last videos as well, right here on the SCSRA YouTube channel.
That top line, they're maintaining, but I feel like they're going to have to get back down here eventually.
Well, they went real high going into one here.
Well, and you have Kaufman and Overstreet. They, a little bit difference in laps. One lap down, 1-2. Len McNee's now going to join the fun. So makes you wonder. They should have a little bit extra fuel, at least one more lap they can sit here and play with. I believe, though, they're still going to want to try to pit in with the field.
I haven't raced the Xfinity cars in a while. I've just been, watching the ASR and the NSRA tour on these races. And I will say that the next gen cars, you get someone next to you and it's like a literal parachute. I don't know if it's like that in these cars. There's been some pulling off of with side drafting, but a huge difference in how all these cars drive on these tracks.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think people drive this Xfinity here that you say that. They drive the Xfinity as if the side drafting is going to play a major role, and it does not. So the most it does is you're able to take the driver's air away and stop them from cooling their car.
Yeah. The 27 of Sean Stevens has been real close to Hunter for the last couple of laps. Do you see him breathing his car out there right now? It's got to be getting a little bit warm. Try to get that right front out in front of the group or right next to him so he can get some air on the radiators there and cool that car off. He has been right on Hunter's bumper for a good couple of laps, so he's definitely got to be careful with that. And we're only 39 laps into this race. 35 laps into this race, so you want to be a little more careful with that. But they're running great. You see that gap there between Sean and Anthony English. Looks like everyone's kind of just riding. No one's really kind of pushing anything right now. I don't even think we have a second lane formed. Everyone's just kind of single file, which makes me think that people are going to start trying to maybe play some games coming into pit stops here. The bigger the group, the better when it comes down to pit stops, especially at tracks like Talladega. It's so easy to lose a draft. So these guys are going to want to go together, and it looks like we may be getting ready to do that soon.
Well, and your leader, Hunter Reynolds, remember Jimmy fell all the way back from that outside line. He's currently sitting 14th. So when Hunter pits, if he's one of the first cars to go, that's going to automatically trigger Jimmy. He's going to go with them. And you're going to be pitting now from the front and back of the field. Those guys are going to be trying to pull as much of the field with them. I think they said, I kind of enjoy not using my fast repair. Let's take a little bit easy off here. We're tired of this.
Pretty much.
Get some green flag racing, and here we are. The other thing they're doing is they may be trying to stretch this down to one more pit stop. It's going to be tight.
Well, with Hunter leading the pack, he's not going to be able to. He's burning the most amount of fuel. Everyone's definitely saving behind him. So he's going to be burning the most amount of fuel around these laps by probably 0.1 to 0.2 gallons per lap. When you only have 50% of fuel, that definitely matters.
Yeah, that fuel consumption is going to be huge. Who is going to get the green flag for fuel? And it's a bonus if, you can make it. But running just about a second slower than our fastest lap. Coffin set the overall best at a 49.480. And our leader's last lap sitting at a 50.7. So they have throttled back a little bit. And we'll see how much gas they can conserve this way. And I've got the message. The 27 is pitting in. David Overstreet is going to pit in. Russell Hancock pitting in. Drivers are sending their messages.
Let's jump to the 27 here as he gets on the pit road here.
That's going to be a great look. And it looks like they were able to bring a couple with them. That's going to leave the 26, the 44, and the 85. They're still going to be out in front. That's Reynolds, English, and Kilday.
Luckily, we had no black flags going onto pit road here, so everyone was able to make it clean. With 42 laps left in the race, there's still, even if they pit now, they're still going to have another one. So let's see, does anybody else take it here?
Oh, we got a big group going. Reynolds, McNeese, Levy, Dixon.
Here we go, dropping down. Well, that's not a good camera.
Looks like Schroeder going with them. Oh, almost locks it up into the grass. Looks like the NSRA 5-5 of Dean has also come into pit.
Got Anthony English staying out, Adam Kilday, Mark Mann up there now. Rick Seabrands. Is it Seabrands or Seabrands?
Or Seabrands. See?
See. All right. Les Levy out there still. Oh, we have Brian Kaufman that got a black flag and don't know what it was for. Maybe excessive speeding while exiting pit road. But we got that last lap coming back onto pit road now. Got a lock up there. Ooh. That was close there. Got the 84 coming back around. Of Lynn McNeese, going to be in that front group.
And I'm checking on the 01 to see what happened here.
Got Hunter Reynolds on the bottom line here. Got some, looks like Paul Servant up there in the front.
Wow, looks like the 01 might have got the unsafe pit.
Oh.
Just came across that line by a hair. Barely touches it, that upper line.
You see him coming down pit road now.
And your leader, Anthony English. He's coming out.
Anthony English, let's see, looks like the group's going to pick him up instead of going around him. So our top 5 after green flag pit stops: Anthony English, Adam Kilday, Mark Mann, Rick Seabrands, and Paul Servant. And your top 5 at this point. Looks like Rick Seabrands has fallen back down now.
Look at the run coming from Savannah in the 27. Sean Stevens is there pushing their way to the lead, and they have picked up the 8 of Dana Osborne. No blocks thrown, and they're going to drop down in front.
Ooh, and they're going to leave the was that 69 out to dry.
Gets left. That's going to be Dusty Burkhart gets left out. But Servant able to catch that lead pack and in a hurry.
So after green flag pit stops, Hunter Reynolds, who was leading the race coming down in the pits, is now running an 11th place. So I'm not sure if he had a slow pit stop. Not sure what happened, but he got 10 more cars in front of him now. But everyone's back to running single file. Hunter may have dropped back down to get closer back to Jimmy, because they're running 11th and 13th right now. So if they have any more teammates back there with them, they could make that second line work and get back up towards the front of the pack. Right now, Hunter is still leading with laps led at 17 total laps. Paul Servant currently has 7. He's running into first place right now. So about 10 more laps and he'll be able to pick that back up. Everyone seems to be pretty respectful right now, not wanting to use any more fast repairs. Of your top 5, only 1 has used a fast repair at this point, and that is Paul Servant. Everyone else still is at 0. So a potential to be pretty aggressive, even though we are less than half or more than halfway through the race to go. We are now 38 laps. I forgot to do the switch over, just like you, Guy.
And you know, I was just about to remind you, we are past the halfway point. Let's switch it over to counting down instead of counting up.
37 laps to go. And we're having some great green flag racing here. Tom Dixon out there all by himself right now, going through turn number 4, coming onto the tri-oval. Not sure if anything happened with him. There's a smaller group back here, led by the number 48 car of Andrew Schroeder behind this lead pack. At the last interval, they were 10 seconds off that pack between Andrew Schroeder and Jimmy Reynolds. Let's see if that gets any narrower at the line here. Oh, the last section, they just dropped down to a 10.7, so they lost half a second in that last one. Number 3 is on the outside line here.
Well, remember, Tom Dixon did come in with that first group, and it looks like he had a little bit of issues getting into his pit stall, had multiple pull-ups.
Got it. Okay.
Cost them a little bit extra time, and, well, and it took him a long time to get in there. It looks like his last pit time was 44 seconds
Ooh.
on the lane, so... Plus, the you can add in the 8.6, so the pit crew did their job. Mr. Dixon just could not get in fast enough.
You can see on the map here, our lead group is coming up to a lapped car of number 01, Brian Kaufman. So let's see how they handle this. Looks like everything's going to be pretty respectful. I hope so anyways. Paul Servant filed back into 10th place now, or 9th place from the lead. All it takes is bobbling one corner and getting a little too far high for that inside car just to get under you, to get a nose under you, and you're back there in 10th now. Doesn't take long for it to happen.
Especially with these guys riding as tight as they are. An interesting decision by the 01. He's going to dive below yellow, and the field currently single file.
My call would have just stayed high.
And try to catch the tail end, but you know what?
Yep.
Kaufman not a playoff driver. It's not going to hurt his night.
No, it's not.
Does not want to mess up someone else's.
Well, neither is Sean Stevens, but he's up here leading the race. And all behind him, down to 7th place, Dana Osborne, Anthony English, Adam Kilday, Dusty Burkhart, Lynn McNeese, Mark Mann. All 6 cars behind him are all playoff drivers. At this point, they may just be taking the fuel savings and see if they can make this one more stop and get it to green after that. So, again, very respectful racing at this point. Everyone's just hanging out. Single file. Let's just get this going. We got number 26 back there, Hunter Reynolds peeked out there for a second.
Nice. We just got Ryan Reynolds, baby. Welcome to the lead.
Oh, got some bumping and pushing here.
I was hoping for Ryan Reynolds. We might get my wife to actually tune in and watch a race.
You know, yeah, probably. That's probably the only way that my wife would ever watch us.
And it looks like Kaufman entered the pits, got a black flag, had to clear a black flag, and then got a black flag. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. I don't really know what's going on.
I will say, the one thing I wish, you got the number, looks like Dana Osborne here getting filed out. There was some pushing and shoving back there. He did get a little loose in the tri-oval and had to come back up to Anthony English. And Anthony English looks like he didn't have him a whole lot of room to come back up there. They kept it single file, kept it clean, but looks like he didn't file back a little bit. He's getting picked up on that outside line there.
Well, it looks like the 01 came in to clear a penalty and picked up a speeding penalty while clearing it.
Gotta love when that happens.
So Brian Kaufman, well, he's out here living his best life tonight.
Looks like got the number 46 that picked up Dana Osborne, and they're working their way back up towards the front. They are making that 2-car line work perfectly up there on the outside. Can they clear the number 27 to Sean Stevens and take the lead away from him? It's not often you see a 2-car line work very well, but they are pushing, they are shoving, they are making it work.
Well, I think what you're seeing here is 2 cars trying to be aggressive on that outside and push. They're going to pick up the 84 now. But the bottom line, they're all just trying to save some fuel off the 27, and they're throttling back. And at this point, they know if they don't save gas, it's going to come down to the last 10 laps of this and who can get their gas out faster.
Big gap there between Sean Stevens and looks like Lynn McNeese. No, it wasn't Lynn McNeese. He's going by him. Yeah, Dana Osborne jumped down in the front trying to get those laps led.
As the 411, you can see him on the outside right now. That's Tom Dixon, and he's going down a lap.
Got those two cars on the outside again. Number 46 and 84 on that outside line, trying to make that work here. With Lynn McNeese and... yeah, it's David Overstreet up there. He's going to be the first one for a lucky dog if a caution comes out right now. However, Lynn McNeese, if they get that Phantom 0X from pushing, he's going to lose that lucky dog position. So interesting position to be the lead car in that group when you're fighting to get lucky dog. Your only choice, your only hope at that point is to be in front of the leader by the time that pace car comes out, or that yellow is thrown, so you can maintain and pass the pace car when it does come out. But they're making that outside line work. They're getting a great run off of 2 here. Let's see if David Overstreet, if they clear the number 8 of Dana Osborne, let's see if he just drops down. Looks like they got a good run, of the inside line's got a good run coming through 3 and 4.
And I think if you're the 8, you almost want the 46 to clear down in front of you. It gives you an opportunity to save gas. It also gives the 46 an opportunity to get back on the lead lap.
Not only that, but if you're the number 8 car and 46 comes down in front of you, a playoff driver then is left to hang out to dry on the bottom line or on the top line. Looks like Lynn McNeese is going to bail on him. That's going to leave David Overstreet out there by himself. Looks like he's picking up a second car now, but he's going to fall back pretty far on that outside line there.
And I would definitely be curious to see if any of these teams, as soon as they get the green light, if they jump in the pits, take a quick top off and go.
Let's go on board with Anthony English and see if we can hear any kind of what their throttle inputs are sounding like here. You can definitely hear him feathering that throttle, cracking it. Sounds like looks like Sean Stevens is also trying to cool his car off by getting that right front nose, like we mentioned earlier, out in some clean air, and get some air in those radiators and get that car cooled down. That hum definitely sounds like a Chevy. David Overstreet still on the outside line by himself, maintaining about 6 to 7 cars off the leader by himself. So either the inside line is checking up, is not pushing as hard as they need to or can, or David Overstreet is just driving really well. Need to have that car tech inspected after this.
Overstreet finally drops in. He's going to come down in front of 3. And forget the 3, but behind him, the 411 playoff driver, Tom Dixon. He's also a lap down. So by Overstreet coming down early, he's looking to take a lucky dog away from Mr. Dixon.
Two cars back from Mr. Overstreet here. He's riding behind Paul Servant here. And you can see they are just hanging out. They are not trying to push any issues. He's used both of his faster pairs at this point, so he's got nothing left. His only option is to just ride in the pack. Stay out of the incidents, get to the end of the race, have a caution come out, so that he can get his lap back, 1 and 2, make it to the end of the race. We're at 25 laps to go. Race is winding down here. In the chat, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, all-star race fighting. Woo! All-star race Busch versus Stenhouse. I don't remember how you say his name.
What is that? The battle of two old dudes? I mean, let me know if Ross Chastain walks up and knocks one of them out. Like, hey, I'm the young gun.
No, he's too busy riding the wall.
Chastain, my favorite driver, primarily because he will throw a punch.
Where's Tony Starch? Tony Starch is here, but we're racing live, bud.
You got to have a caution to get you some Tony.
I promise, Cat 55 or Ryan Gomes, as soon as he comes, as soon as we get a caution, we'll bring Tony Starch into the booth. His lips aren't moving today, though, so he just looks kind of silent.
He's pretty much stroking out, looking at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Man,
Gotta
I'll
adjust these cameras a little bit.
24 laps right now, and not a lot of time, as Dana Osborne up here getting a ton of lap lead.
Oh, we got some pit stops coming.
And that's what I'm seeing, and it looks like Stevens, Hancock, our leader, Osborne, and David Overstreet all coming in.
Paul Servant locked it up coming in. No black flags entering. That second group pitting as well. All a clean entry as well.
These guys took that option, and I said somebody was going to take it. Somebody was going to take the opportunity to try to short pit, get in there as soon as the light turned green, and, well, there's our answer. As here comes the 46.
Oh, I hear some brakes locking up behind him.
And it looks like our two lap cars are going to come in together.
Got the number 55, Dean Wilkinson, back out on the track. Followed by Andrew Schroeder. That lead pack's going to be catching him quick. However, the lead pack still has to pit. So let's see what they do here. Let's see if they jump down after they get past these guys. Get onto pit road. Oh, not quite clear yet, son. That was a close one. We've got a bunch more guys falling down here.
And Milk Dud been pretty quiet tonight. Looks like Larry's sitting there riding currently 9th. Had himself a pretty quiet night. Only has no laps led. And just kind of been riding middle pack. Let's get to 25, able to make something happen.
But the number 44 of Anthony English still leading the race.
And
Let's
English
see what
right
they
now
do.
at 14 laps led. Hunter Reynolds at 18. So this is going to get tight.
Got a couple more dropping down. 84. Do you have a black flag from the 411 of Tom Dixon? He's back out on track already, so I'm not sure if that was a speeding on entry. Maybe our co-producer here, the guy, can go take a look at that.
I'm going to go check the 411. He's had himself a night of penalties. So.
Lynn McNeese, Hunter Reynolds, Milk Dud, and Jimmy Reynolds all just pit there. It was definitely just a stop and go. Jimmy Reynolds, pit stop time 0.1 seconds. Looks like he may have entered the pits and then had to reset. Let's see if the 44 drops down on the pits this time by. He's got 3 more laps than everybody else, so he'll be good for a green-white checkered, or a couple of them. Looks like they're all coming down that lead pack now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what happened with the 411 or what the black flag was for, because he enters and exits pits. Well, did he get a little bit too fast here? Let's bring it back in his...
Got our leaders on pit road here.
I'm not quite sure what happened with the 411, but he is currently in his pit box. I think he may have just picked up an unsafe.
Dana Osborne coming to the line. Is going to go around our leaders on pit road. We got a 3-car pack between Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, and Sean Stevens. They're going to be passing all of the leaders right now, but the leaders are in a 5-car pack here, 4-car pack here. They should be able to catch them, but those 3 cars have got to get tight if they want to maintain this lead at all. As I said that, here they are bumper to bumper going down the back straight.
And Servant going to do everything he can to keep the 8 out in front.
Under 20 laps to go at this point. And the field is pretty spread out. Again, we've got our top 3, Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, Sean Stevens. They are going to have, let's see when Lynn crosses the line here, a 2-second lead, 2.2 second lead over Lynn McNeese, Larry Milkdud Dickerson, Hunter Reynolds, and Anthony English. Mark Mann looks to be in that group as well. Adam Kilday. So they've got a pretty large group there that's going to be hunting these guys down. They have got to stay as close as they can if they want to maintain this lead, because that group is going to catch them and fly right by like they were standing still.
Well, and they just did a little shuffle. You can see the 3 kind of fell off as being the pusher, the primary pushing. And was falling back to that 3rd spot, allowed the 27 to be the pusher. And this may have cost them some valuable time.
Well, in that last timing sector, they had lost 0.8 seconds to that group behind them. So they're not running they're not running bumper to bumper anymore. You've kind of seen them spread out here. Paul Servant running in 3rd place there. Dana Osborne in 2nd. They're putting Sean Stevens out front, who again is not a playoff driver. So his points don't matter. However, him burning fuel does. These guys.
Well, Len McNeese has caught and Milkdud, so.
Now, Lynn McNeese, they looks like they pit on lap 60, where Sean Stevens and that group pit on lap 57, try to undercut them. So at this point, all they have to do is let Sean, let Dana, let Paul all run up front, let them burn their fuel, and they just have to ride in line, and they're going to be good for any green-white checkers. Looks like that's not their plan either. They're going to jump up on the high line here and fall back further in the pack. Looks like they have to save fuel to be able to make it to the end of this race.
Oh, and I definitely think that's going to be the plan going forward. They're going to come up to, I mean, they've only got 16 laps to go. They're coming around the backstretch. It's going to be a fuel game, especially for those guys who try to take the advantage and pit early.
So our top 5 after grain stop, pit stops this time around, Sean Stevens in the lead, Lynn McNeese running in 2nd, Larry Milkdud Dickerson in 3rd, Hunter Reynolds in 4th, Anthony English in 5th here. Of those 5 drivers, 4 of them are playoff drivers. Sean Stevens, who's currently leading the race, is not. They're going to let him ride up front and burn as much fuel as he wants while they save behind him.
You can see the gapping.
Go ahead.
Oh, you can see the gapping there. The 84 not pulling that nose up to the bumper of the 27. Len been doing this for quite some time. You can tell he's burping this motor. He's saving everything, and almost the exact same distance between Len and Larry. So both of them trying to save as much. Hunter Reynolds in that 2nd pack. We'll see if he's able to bring it up a little bit closer to the back bumper of Milkdud and save a little bit faster. He may not have to save as much. Hunter Reynolds still led the most laps. He's okay with Sean Stevens out there leading.
Well, Hunter Reynolds, Anthony English, Hunter Reynolds and Anthony English. Well, Hunter pit on lap 60, Anthony pit on lap 61. Mark Mann behind him pit on lap 61 as well. So, you know, I think they're all comfortable with letting Sean just go take away laps, go burn as much fuel as you can. You can see they're not pushing hard. Give it about probably 6 more laps, and you're going to start seeing some real racing here going on.
Yeah, these guys aren't going to keep it single file much longer.
Now, those guys in the back of that lead pack, they are running out of time, so they're going to have to start making some moves to get up front. Of these top 10 guys, over half of them still have both of their faster pairs. So I imagine around 10 laps to go, it's going to be race on, and everyone's going to start pushing. We're going to see some second and third lines developing, which may allow that second pack of Dean Wilkerson, Andrew Schroeder, Les Levy, and Dusty Burkhart to catch back up to this lead group. Right now, they are currently 8.2 seconds behind Paul Servant on the tail end of that lead pack.
Yeah, they're almost to the point of dire pray for a caution. Time's starting to dwindle down now. The longer these guys stay single file, the harder it's going to be. Not to mention that backpack is pushing. Are they going to have the fuel to make it to the end here? Are they going to have to burn too much?
Well, with this front pack not pushing, that second group, like I just mentioned, Dean Wilkinson and Schroeder, Andrew Schroeder, Les Levy, and Dusty Burkhart gained 0.7 seconds on that last timing sector. Let's see what it's at the line. But with this front group not pushing as hard, this second group may have enough time to catch them and actually put on a fight. But these guys are going to go side by side here in a minute. And
well, if they get there, you know how fast they're going to get up there. They're not going to stop at the back. They're going to try to push their way all the way to the front.
And they have cut that gap to 6.8 seconds to the back of that lead pack. So they are catching almost a second a lap at this point.
Yeah, it's incredible. And that's because of the pushing of Andrew Schroeder on the SCSRA 55 of D. Wilkinson.
Let's go back and take a look at these guys. And you can see them doing this, and they're not even, again, 0.6 of a second cut off on that last timing sector. So they are pushing hard to get to these front pack, and it looks like they may do it with 4 to 5 laps left to go. .6 seconds. They are closing quick. His lead pack's going to be coming up to the number 411 of Tom Dixon. Looks like probably around the exit of turn 4. So let's see what they do here. If he stays on the race surface, if he goes to the top line, if he goes under the apron, let's see what they do here. We were 5.6 seconds at the line last time, 5.09 seconds in this timing sector on the second sector here. 0.6 of a second every timing sector, 1.2 seconds a lap. These guys are catching them.
Does Sean Stevens try to? Well, let's see. I don't know. I would probably try to pick the 411 up and use them to pull you a little bit faster and closer.
4.43 seconds, guys. This is going to be close.
I think the 55 is definitely going to go with that. He's going to try to use that 411, get that airflow off of them, and that should boost them up there, because they are both on the backstretch right now.
But here we go. We're going too wide. 10 laps to go, just like we said.
We got one wrecking on the backpack. Oh, what happened? That's going to break them up. The 69 is going to get spun, but it looks like David Overstreet's going to spin them out, and that's 69 is Dusty Burkhart, I believe.
David Overstreet with a meatball flag. Dusty Burkhart with the meatball flag as well.
That's only going to leave 2 cars and no caution.
Looks like the 69 had to tow.
Yeah, and it's not going to be good, though, for the 55, as they are now 3 cars, and 2 of them had meatballs. So it's going to be Schroeder in the 55, no caution being thrown.
And while all that was happening, Anthony English, Adam Kilday, Mark and Rick Seabrands moved up ahead of Sean Stevens to take over the top 4 spots.
And now that front pack able to drive away from the 55 and the 48. So
we're at 4.3 seconds now. Let's see what it's at the line. These guys are all going to start pushing real hard now. Now the race is on.
And you can see that front pack now gaining a half a second on Dean Wilkinson. They needed those 4 cars. I think those 4 cars really stood a chance. They were going to get there just in the nick of time. With 2 of them going down, I think that's going to end it unless we have a caution.
Well, as I said, it's 4.7 seconds now. So like I said, they lost a half a second on that lap 2 cars is not going to cut it. They had a good thing going there. Unfortunately, we got 69 back out on the track. 46 still has a meatball flag, but he's already used both of his fast repairs. So at this point, he's pretty much out of the race.
You might as well ride it till it dies.
Yep.
And just bring it home. The only thing that may save the 55 back there, Dean Wilkinson, who is a playoff driver, and Les Levy, Jimmy Reynolds, Dusty Burkhart.
We got a caution.
And that's what they were going to need. And just like
looks
that,
like it was the 55 of Dean Wilkinson.
And that is not who it needed to be.
No, not at all. Let's go on to Dean here in that SCSRA number 55 and see what happened here.
Ooh, looks like a bad push by Schroeder. Schroeder, who's been pushing him extremely hard.
It didn't change the camera. Why? Why you do this to me, Atvo? Coming into the tri-oval here. Oh, he just got that back left bumper. You've got to hit him square. There's no way around it.
Another victim of tri-oval pushing. Yep. You see it all the time at Talladega. You're hitting square. Tri-oval happens, just a little bit of a shift, and the 55 goes round and round. But I'll tell you what, the 55 didn't really take damage from that. So if you're the 55, I think you're okay with that. Your race was over without this caution. Now the real fun is going to begin. The real fun is about to begin.
On that note, we're going to jump to commercial. We will be right back.
It's not very often you find a job where you look forward to coming to work every day.
The equipment rental specialist is a great way to start your career here at Sunbelt. You're the face of the branch, that first person that's going to give that customer that top-notch experience.
The everyday life as an ERS is never the same. Working with outside sales reps, job site visits, taking in a lot of phone calls. So being an ERS gives you a great opportunity to work in every aspect of the business.
When a customer gives me a call, I talk with them, find out what it is they're doing. If they're going to have a delivery, ask for their address, get the information they need, how long do you need it for. Whenever they're done with it, they give me a call. I schedule a pickup and service it and send it right back out to the next customer.
We work with anything as big as like excavators, skid steers, to generators, chainsaws. I get a huge satisfaction of just seeing the equipment and contributing to projects.
Once you become an ERS, doors are open for you and you can almost do anything in the company. I was able to learn. That allowed me to become an outside sales rep.
The opportunities are endless and Sunbelt really promotes from within, so it makes it a great company to work for.
Sunbelt offers a great support system. If there's ever anything you don't know, everybody you work with is willing to help you.
The training we get here is phenomenal. Everyone here is just wanting you to be your best and always helping you learn.
When starting, they were able to help me get familiarized with the equipment and making the transition from my previous role to this role. I was able to make that smooth transition.
An equipment rental specialist allowed me to propel to the position that I am today as an assistant manager, and that just shows how the opportunities are endless.
Sunbelt is really for the employees. There's something for everybody in Sunbelt.
And we're back. As requested, Cat 55, Tony Starch. But as you can see, he's a little cracked out today.
I think he's stoned, bro.
We definitely got to do some work on the camera angle here. That it's
Who the hell let Tony Starch hang out with Eddie?
Damn
it, Eddie, stay away from Tony.
That I do not know. But he's not picking up my mouth movement at all. But I do have a mic right in front of my mouth, so maybe it's just not going to let that happen.
Yeah, it's probably the settings. We'll fix them later. Hey, I'll tell you what, we did pretty good today getting this broadcast and switching the controls completely over. It's a different world, not actually having to be in control of anything. I get to just sit here and watch iRacing, and
How you
go ahead,
liking being
y'all
on the
start
other
with
end of
it.
it? Been a while
Oh,
since you've been on this side of it, huh?
I have. I've actually never sat here and looked at all the broadcasting stuff without actually having to hit any buttons. So it's been a nice, relaxing time and much needed after today's crazy softball. As the lights have gone off on the pace car, they're going to come to the line with 3 laps to go. And like all super speedway racings, they should finish this the first time under green conditions, and everybody will finish in the order they're starting in, and there won't be any chaos. That's what I've heard anyway.
Hey, watch out for the camera, guys. Rude. This has been a surprisingly calm race, and it is no longer a calm race. I would expect we're, at this point, with the field going to be coming to an unofficial green-white checkered, or green-green-white checkered, we're going to see some more cautions here.
Oh, and remember, the top 4 have both fast repairs. The next 3 have 1 fast repair. And then the next 4 have both fast repairs. So
Yeah.
Plenty of damage to hand out. What could go wrong?
A lot. A lot could go wrong. David Overstreet still on pit lane with a meatball flag. His race is going to be over tonight. Man, it has been good, though. Very clean racing, and a strategy took a huge part into this race. As we're coming into turn 4 here, pace car is about to pull off the racetrack here, and we are going to be going green.
And just in time, the 69 got the lucky dog, and he is back on the lead lap. So Dusty Burkhart looking to make some moves here.
At that point, let's go back full screen. Pace car is off. Well, 2 of the tires are off anyways. We're going to get Adam.
Kilday. Oh, you got it.
Kilday is going to be coming into the Geico restart zone here now. Followed by Anthony English, who has led 21 laps. He is going to be possibly officially the car with the most laps led for today. And here we are going green. Possibly for the last time of the evening. Let's get that roar by here.
A little side-by-side action. And see if they're able to make it around at least one time. Either way, any caution will go to the first of 2 green-white checkers.
We got 85 throwing a block up on the top line of the number 44, Anthony English.
Well, Kilday's a playoff driver. He may be looking for the love of Mr. English. But spoiler alert, Les Levy coming on the outside with Paul Servan. That third row starting to form now.
We got the number 55 up there on the third line of Dean Wilkinson and that SCSRA green car. Looking to play spoiler up there on that top line.
As these guys go to 2 to go. They're going to be looking to complete at least one more lap and finish things under green flag conditions. If we get a caution before they come to the line, we will go into overtime.
Let's see where
push coming from the middle.
Yeah, they're doing real good, nice and tight. 85 jumps down to that bottom lane, leaves Les Levy, Anthony English, all fighting for that top or for the front car in all 3 respective lanes. Coming off of turn 4 here. Will we get the white flag? Are they going to get it in the tire over here? This is it.
White flag's out.
White flag is out. This is going to be the final lap. No matter what happens, the race will finish.
The 85 doing a really good job. Working well. I wonder if Anthony English here, it looked like he kind of laid back a little bit on the 85. Remember, English already locked into the top 8. Does he play spoiler, or is he trying to get the 85 to cross the line first?
Got the number 44 of Anthony English. Oh, he lost his pusher. Got some wrecking back there in the back of the pack. 85's got a nice run coming into the tri-oval. Got some more wrecking in the tri-oval. Even more?
wrecking.
Adam Kilday's going to take it.
Mark Mann and Milk Jug Dickerson finishing in your top 3. And on the final lap, Andrew Schroeder sets the fastest lap of the night. A 49.465.
Man.
I didn't really see that outcome. I didn't see him able to get it done the first time, but they were.
Let's go back and see what happened, because it all started back in turn 4. Let's go to the number 55 of Dean Wilkinson of that NSRA car. Get a little bit closer to him. Started back here, and then it kind of just all went to hell.
Chaos.
Looks like there was some bobbing and weaving back there. Oh, the number 4 got a bad push. Looks like lots of people just pushing around. Hang on, let's keep going up the field. Watch number 62 here of Les Levy. A bad push on the 143. Let's keep going forward because it keeps on going. 84, man, everyone just turned right there coming to the line here. 84 is going to come across the line backwards. The number 66 of Bubby Winningham is going to come across the line sideways at least. Man.
And the 85 out there burning it down in the grass. Well, now the fun part. Now you got to try to find all these guys in the Discord.
Let's go do that.
I found Larry. Let's see if I can get him in the booth for you. Look at this. Look at all these responsibilities I have. These are new.
I know, right?
I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Larry Milk Dickerson. Where is he?
He's in the booth. You ready for him?
Yeah, bring him on up. Larry, David and Guy up in the booth. You got us?
Got you loud and clear.
Man, what a great race. There's lots of strategy being played just through the middle of that race here. You came back up towards the end of that race, come across 3rd place. Looks like all 3 top 3 here, all playoff drivers. How's this looking for you coming into the elimination round?
It was a little scary. This hasn't been the season that I wanted. Last year, my rookie season, I had like, at this point, I think 3 wins, and I had a fun going to the Final Four. But I got my work cut out for me this season. Every race I've been caught up in other people's stuff and just not getting the finishes that show for it. Well, I get the finishes that show I'm getting caught up with people's stuff, but just not the showing how strong I run. But it was a little scary not coming to the cutoff because I haven't had a chance to look at the standings, so I don't know how exactly close I was to the playoffs or to the cutoff line. So this is gonna give me a little bit of made me feel a little bit better. Finally get my first interview this season. So just try to take this momentum and just carry it into the playoffs. It's, like I said, this season's gonna be tough, but we're gonna do the best we can.
All right. And coming off this race here, we're going into the round of 8 here. How's your outlook looking? I know it's your first time up in the booth. Hope to hear we hear from you again for the rest of the season. I know you said it was kind of scary coming into this round, but if we move on, how's it looking for you for the rest of the season? You excited for it?
I'm excited. I got all the confidence in the world because I feel like I showed everybody last season making it to the Final Four and finished second in points how strong and how strong I could be throughout the season. Well, this Super Speedway League, man, it's just right like real life. It's knowing when to make the right moves and being able to put yourself in the right positions at the right times. Like I said, this season has been a struggle for me. I've been putting myself in good situations, but I'm always coming out in the losing end, either from wrecks or fuel mileage. It's just hasn't been the strong season I was expecting, but we're going to try to take this, like I said, this first ever interview in top 5 to start in the playoffs throughout the rest of the playoffs. I got all the confidence in the world. We're just going to see what we can do.
All right. Larry, I got one question. It's a little more on the personal side. You got to tell me where Milk Dud comes from.
That comes from one of my buddies. It was a little joke on the side. My buddy gave me like 4 or 5 years ago. He called me Milk Dud, and I just roll with it because I think it's funny, and I feel like it kind of suits me. It's kind of like an oddball nickname. I see myself as kind of like an oddball. So it works. A lot of my friends know me by Milk Dud, and every time I meet somebody new, when I tell them my nickname's Milk Dud, I get that weird reaction. I had to explain it to them, so it's kind of funny. But hey, I roll with it. I like it. That's what I go by. So.
All right. Mr. Milkton, I'm going to leave it up to you, sir. As traditional with the SCSRA broadcasting team, the floor is yours to thank all your sponsors. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to first off you for doing the broadcast every week, man. Since you joined on, you awesome. I look forward to going back and looking at it every time. Shout out to Dave and for running this awesome league. I have a lot of fun with it. So shout out to him for running this league every week. Shout out to all the league sponsors. I want to give a shout out to, even though I don't have no teammates. Every week I work with some of the guys in the same chat room every week, and we didn't have our normal guys there tonight. Some of them on vacation, relaxing. So it was just me and Lynn tonight. So shout out to Lynn for working with me and working together on the green flag pit cycles, trying to figure out our fuel strategy and seeing what we can do. Shout out to my buddies who watched, Daniel, Chris, P3, first interview of the season, we did it. Shout out to them. Shout out to my buddy Dylan, who is going to be going back looking at the race tonight. He's got his own league race running tonight, so hopefully he has some good luck and get him a win. So shout out to Dylan. And shout out to my sponsors, LA Construction. My buddy does all my graphics and all my paint schemes. And biggest one for me, first time I get to talk to you this season about it, Angel Syndrome Foundation is a form of autism that kind of different from all the other forms. So if anybody can go to that foundation or any autism foundation dealing with autism and donate, you'll be doing those people a great cause. And last but not least, shout out to my wife for putting up with me doing this 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week. And so shout out for supporting me and supporting me in my real life racing. So shout out again, and hopefully I get to talk to you next week again.
Well, Larry, we hope to see you up here for the rest of the season. And good luck in your next race, man.
Appreciate it. Oh, my boy Ted, I can see you at work tomorrow. Ted, you the man. We did it again tonight.
Well, tell Ted to go watch the stream if he hasn't already.
Oh, he doesn't watch iRacing, and he's not into technology stuff. But I'm always showing him highlights, and I ride with him. He probably gets sick and tired of me showing him highlights when I do good, but he supports me too. So yeah, shout out to you, Ted. You the man.
Have a good night, Larry.
All right, buddy. See you next week.
No problem. All right. Let's find Mark Mann.
Oh, I found Mr. Mark. Man, I can get him up in the booth for you right here.
Bring him on up, guy. Mark, you got David and Guy up here in the booth tonight. How are you doing? You got us?
What's going on, bro?
Man, what a race. It looked like there was a lot of strategy involved in the middle of the race. Had a giant green flag run, 2 green flag stops. After everything's said and done, coming through the try over there and everyone wrecking behind y'all, you came out in a second place. Tell us, how'd it go for you?
You know, you're right. There was a lot of strategy going on there, and it probably wasn't the most entertaining race there in the middle of it to watch from home, but there was some fuel strategy going on there. We were good to make it till the end. It probably would have been 4 or 5 of us kind of pulled away from the field there at the end on fuel, but the late caution came out and it mixed things up, and you know, I didn't really have a chance on Adam there at the end to pass him, so I just kind of stayed in line and got a P2 and advanced to the next round of the playoffs.
And man, that's the safest bet. It looks like you finished the race with both your faster pairs. There was a couple of guys that had to use them early on in the race, but you just kind of stayed clean and stayed out of everything to come out in P2. How are you looking going into the round of 8 here? Are you excited? What's going through your mind going into that?
Yeah, so that's going to change my strategy completely because, I mean, for example, this race and last race, I raced at the back early, watch the wrecks happen, slow down for them, go by them nice and easy. Don't use those quick repairs, save them for the end. I was lucky enough to get the win last week, lucky enough to get P2 tonight on that same strategy, but next week will have to be something a little bit different. You know, track positions probably is going to be more important. I think we're going to Daytona, so it'll be more important there. So I'm probably not going to just be able to sit at the back and watch things happen. I'm going to have to try to make more things happen. And I think it's only 2 races in that round. So you don't really have a whole lot of time to make things happen. And with the smaller fields in the playoffs, you have to be careful back there because if there's a single car spin where everybody checks up and the caution doesn't come out, you can really get behind and then you get a green flag pit stop and the field breaks apart and you end up 20 seconds back hoping not to go a lap down. So a lot of things come into play, but I think next week I will qualify and try to maintain some track position if possible.
Yeah, and we saw the last bout from about 17 laps to go to about 10 laps to go. The number 55 of Dean Wilkinson was catching that front group by almost 1.2 seconds per lap. That had to be on that lead lap or that lead group's mind, is that group is catching so fast. There was an incident back there which kind of dropped them off, which brought them back into the race with that caution with 5 to go. But you know, that group was catching you quick. That's got to kind of play into mind for next week and how that front group is racing.
Well, they were definitely coming quickly because that whole front group was saving fuel. So
yeah,
our pace was really slow, and we did see them catching. And then Rick, Adam, and Anthony and I decided to go, and that's what we did. We knew once we were good on fuel, let's go. Let's get to the front of the pack because they're gaining on us. And then once we started doing that, we did monitor the gap, and the gap stayed consistent. So we weren't really worried about that. They were racing so hard to get up to that lead pack that they were going to have to pit anyway. So yeah, we did monitor that. We were paying attention to that for sure.
All right. Mark, I'm going to leave it up to you as traditional with the SCSRA broadcast team. We're going to leave it up to you. Thank your sponsors. Anybody you want to thank tonight? Floor is yours.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you guys for broadcasting. I'll be sure to check that out and give it a like. Thanks to everybody watching at home. My friend Merrill, who always watches the races, and the guys I race with tonight, Rick, Anthony, and Adam, and Rick, and congratulations to Adam, and thanks to NSRA. You know, it's really fun league to run in. It's a long-standing league, so it has quite a history. Always have fun in these races and enjoy myself and a lot of the guys on the other teams and other Discord channels I've been racing with for, half a decade. So it's been a lot of fun and hope to keep it up in the future.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time tonight. You have a great rest of your night, Mark, and good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
That was your second place finisher, Mark Mann. Let's get Adam Kilday up here. Guy? Adam, this is David and Guy up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys, dude.
Man, how are you doing tonight? After that whirlwind of a last lap, wrecking everything through 3 and 4, coming into the tri-oval, you came away with the win. Great pushing that you had from Mark Mann and Larry back there. Kind of just finishing out 1, 2, and 3. How'd it go for you? From your point of view, anyways.
Yeah, just wanted to try to keep Mark's temps cool there at the end. So moved up to the second lane and in front of Anthony, and he helped me out, keeping me up front there, and was just able to clear Mark again down the backstretch, and was hoping he'd have enough to push me all the way there to the end. So I have no clue how he did it, because I swore like he never backed off my bumper for what it seemed like a whole 2 laps straight. So, but yeah, it's definitely, huge shout out to Mark, man. for this win, it's like it's just as much as his win as it is mine at this point, and whoever was behind him, tandem drafting with him, pushing Mark into me, and Anthony English too. Like if it weren't for those guys, the win wouldn't have been possible.
So going into the round of 8 here, how are you feeling?
Me probably about the same what I felt going in here. Just pop up in these races and cruise around and see what happens, see what unfolds. And this one turned out to be a fuel strategy race. So I guess we'll take those at the end of the day. Kind of glad it turned out a bit racy at the end. Not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
it sucked that the yellow came out, and it did mess up our fuel strategy a little bit there. But I always like a racy finish, coming to the line. So I'll take that.
Man, it was a really clean race, and from all the broadcasting we do for Super Speedway Series, this was Super Speedway's week for the SCSRA broadcasting team. This was probably the cleanest race we saw all week. There was a giant green flag run right there in the middle after a caution. 2 green flag pit stops. Everything worked out for a lot of people, and you guys had a great strategy to be able to take that away. But with that caution coming out, you guys were still able to come away with the win, and congratulations on that, Adam.
Yeah, heck yeah. So, kind of unfortunate that Anthony was involved in that last incident there. I felt like, in a way, I kind of missed the entry a little bit coming to that Geico zone, and it caused a little squabble there on the inside, and Anthony ended up getting tagged in the left, unfortunately, but he deserved a better finish than that. But yeah, just again, if it wasn't for the guys in that second row doing all that pushing, this win wouldn't happen. And heck yeah.
Awesome. As tradition with the SCSRA broadcasting, Madam, we're going to go ahead and leave the floor to you, sir. Thank any of your sponsors,
right.
friends, family, people watching the stream here tonight.
Man, I'll give a shout out to the admins in this league. I don't know all the names, but I'll say Les Levy, Bubba Winningham, and David Overstreet. It's definitely one of the more laid back, chill leagues in the super speedway stuff. So it's it's a good time to relax on Sunday night with these guys and race with them. And shout out to them for putting on a peaceful community for the most part. And yeah, that should about do it.
Awesome, Adam. Well, thank you for your time tonight, sir. Good luck in the rest of the season, and we will hopefully catch you up next week.
All right, will do. Have a good rest of your night, man.
You too, sir.
All right.
All right, guys. That was your top 3 here. We had Adam Kilday as your winner, Mark Mann coming home in second, Larry Milkdud Dickerson in third, Andrew Schroeder fourth, Paul Servant rounding out your top 5. Guy, what an interesting race. It was very strategy driven tonight, that's for sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure that me and Tony Starch, we're going to swing by, pick up Eddie Morris, and I guess we're going to pick up Adam Kilday now, and we're just going to enjoy the rest of this night, because tomorrow, Chaos, iRacing Super Speedway at the ASR Tour. So I'm glad I got to save my voice today, because tomorrow is going to be action-packed and without excitement or with lots of excitement, not without, but I definitely expect to see a ton of incidents tomorrow. We know how hard iRacing is. It's going to be fun, man. And then we finally get to go. We're going to Bristol this week, and we finally get to discuss your car on Wednesday night that you've been riding all season. Well, most of the season.
About half the season yet.
Good half of it. We haven't really talked about it, brought it up. We focused it a couple times. But Wednesday night, we're going to make sure we get you up in the booth with me sometime throughout the race. Oh, and Duvendak, he'll be there. Always there for the distractions.
Well, I will be on tomorrow night as well. I don't know if I will be in the booth with you, but I will definitely be race control. So if you have any questions, come on, bring me up. Let's talk about it, because it's going to be an interesting race. If anybody pays attention to the intro video, that vehicle that goes spinning like a top towards the end of that video, yeah, that's me at iRacing Super Speedway in the ASR League earlier in the season. So hopefully that doesn't happen to anybody else. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, do all the fun things. We appreciate everybody coming by tonight and liking the video. Every like, every comment, everything you guys do is what helps build this channel. So keep it going. We do appreciate all of your work. Guy, again, thank you for everything that you've done, helping me get this set up tonight for my first broadcast ever, which I would say is not terrible. We have some work to do, though.
You did good.
Thank you for coming, guys. Bye, guys, tonight. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the ASR series right here on SCSRA Broadcasting.
Peace.